Hey, what's going on? This is Thomas Gaudenzi, and on this edition of Combat Sports Coverage, we're here interviewing Samuel "The Bull" Mongolia over his upcoming Muay Thai fight, March 1st, live on UFC Fight Pass and FridayNightFights.com. So, Sammy, tell me how your training camp's going so far leading into the biggest fight of your life.
Like always, I treat every fight like it's the biggest fight of my life for the most part. Come in and, I pretty much live the life, so I train as much as I can, whether I'm off season or in season. But getting to the end of fight camp, for some of you guys that know that feels, it gets pretty discouraging sometimes, but at the same time, you're excited at the same time, so.
Yeah, and so tell me where and who and what are you doing for training right now?
I train at Revolution Dojo downtown on N Street, and then I also train with Mark Beecher at Hyena Muay Thai in Katy. So I pretty much switch back and forth between each day, and then lots of clinch work, lots of pretty much working the hands with leg kicks, and just pretty much for the most part just Muay Thai. I try to not be weak in any parts. I try to practice everything for the most part. I try not to be just good at something. I try to be good at the full everything.
Basically, making sure all 8 of your limbs are deadly.
Yeah, sharpen them all the time.
And so this fight, so you are doing, so it is a Muay Thai fight. You'll be able to clinch your knees and elbows. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's enforced knees and then elbows, obviously, and it's going to be 5 rounds, 5 3-minute rounds.
Oh, man, that's good. So tell me, I know, you're a pretty big guy. You're a shreddy guy. I've always wondered, how much weight do you typically cut for a fight?
It really depends on, when people say cut weight, I don't know what your definition for most people when they say they cut weight, I cut 20 pounds or 30 pounds or freaking cut 5 pounds or whatever. But my fight camp, I start kind of tooling down a little bit. I try to keep it for water for the most part. I try to do about 8 pounds or so. I really am big on hydrating back up, obviously, making sure I'm trying to be as big as possible when I get back in the ring.
Well, what about this? How much would you say you typically weigh in? What is so people that don't know listening? What is your typical fighting weight?
Okay, so I weigh in usually about anywhere from 144 to 147, and then I usually get back in the ring about 160, 161 in that area.
Oh, wow.
159, 161.
Oh yeah, so you definitely put on some good size in between, over those 24 hours. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that take you a long time to get used to doing that, or did that come kind of easily?
It just kind of over time just kind of ran that way. I fought at 54 when I first kind of started, and then kind of worked my way down for the most part, and then just kind of from there. It really just depends on the person's body and how they feel. You want to stay as healthy as you can. I tried to go lower, in the 42, but it's just way too much on me. I got big legs, so it's hard to get that to cut off.
Yeah, and you're pretty lean already, so I bet it would be hard to get too low. And then, so tell me, how do you see this fight playing out March 1st versus Turan?
Okay, he's a heavy hitter. He likes his right hand, and he likes to throw it. So as the fight goes, he tries to build up and try to get stronger and stronger. I usually, for the most part, I treat every fight kind of the same. We might tweak it just a little here and there for opinion on who the person is. For him, just watch your right hand a little bit. A little bit of crazy swinger, which sometimes can be hard if you get used to fighting certain guys that have a certain style, like a Thai style or a Dutch style. So it gets a little bit different when you're either fighting MMA guys or guys that are kind of throwing crazy stuff. But he's got a lot of power, and I respect the dude. He's pretty much fought everyone for the most part, and he's knocked a lot of people out. So I'm definitely expecting a lot from him.
And where can so how do you predict this fight? Do you see it going to by winning? If on a perfect night for you, how would this fight play out? Would you get a first round knockout, second round? How do you see it going down?
To be honest, a lot of people always want that first knockout. I'm there to entertain, so like I mean, obviously, yeah, it'd be nice to knock someone out and chill for the rest of the night. But I mean, I'm there to put on shows. I mean, I'm ready to go all 5 rounds and kind of have some fun with it. More blood, the merrier for me. I mean, I like I said, I want the best photos of the night. I want the best showing of the night. Whether it's the cost of him or the cost of me, but preferably the cost of him.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. I definitely don't want too much of your own blood out there. And then tell me about, how does it feel having a great coach under Mark in your corner coaching you? A guy who has coached a lot of high level UFC fighters and many other fighters, guys kind of like Matt Brown and others.
Yeah, I mean, I was already kind of like decent, I guess you would say. And then when you get a coach that's had the experience of A, being in the ring with some high caliber people, and then B, teaching some high caliber people, and just kind of being, I guess, in the martial art and being in the spectrum for a long time, it's opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it's not always big crazy wows, and sometimes I get those wows, but a lot of times you drop your hips here, push up through here, move your body just a little bit here, stuff that I don't always necessarily see, or people I'm working with may not see. So it's been good for me. I enjoy working. I know we've had a good friendship, and we go and do what we love to do. So I mean, he loves coaching, and I love fighting, so it really works out really well. So.
Tell me like one of y'all's craziest stories you guys maybe have done together, or like craziest like maybe like on a trip to a fight, or like what's a good moment that y'all have done?
Oh man, we've fought all over. Well, we met actually when I was fighting for IFMA in Thailand. He had seen me fight a couple of times. Fought with some guys that were on the same card. But we met in Thailand, and walking around there, you also see some pretty sketchy stuff. He's been pretty good with. I have a 5-year-old little girl, and he's always been loving on her. And one time we were in Mexico fighting, and we were walking. We saw a dress. There's some dad stories here, but we saw a dress, and we wanted to go back and get it. We probably walked around for about 4 or 5 hours trying to find that dress again. That's one of them. We've had funny situations. I can't really even think of any right now. We've had as far as with getting stuck places, people just being freaking jerks or whatever, like during travel times. And, I'm freaking starving, and it's irritated. Mark's trying to keep me from going crazy at the same time.
Dang, it sounds like some good times. And then, so I know you've been doing martial arts, you've been doing Muay Thai kickboxing for a while. I believe you haven't ever done an MMA fight. Have you ever thought about doing an MMA fight or maybe trying it?
I originally started with our gym to actually do MMA, so I started doing jiu-jitsu. And then as I started fighting, I wanted to start fighting more and more and more. And it kind of started taking from that time that I was able to train the jiu-jitsu. It still strikes in my head, from time to time. But I would need a lot of work as far as the ground, stuff like that. I mean, I respect the game, and I respect, the games that everyone plays. And, I wouldn't want to go in there and just be like, oh, they got to get me to the ground,
Yeah.
But, that's part of the game, So it does come to my head every once in a while. But I would need to change some things and really work on that if I wanted to.
Yeah, I could always see you doing well in that. I feel like you have like a perfect body type for it. Short, compact is usually good for MMA. Why, like kickboxing, I feel like a lot of the guys are more kind of like tall and skinny, which is more of like the better built for it. But on another note, let's touch base a little bit on your long, lanky amateur career. So how many amateur fights have you had?
I think I was 38 and 6, I think I was.
Oh, wow. And then how many of those matches, like how many title fights have you been in? Like, or titles have you won, actually?
I think I won like about 13 titles. I think it was 2016. It was really like the first year me and Mark started kind of working together. We went through and we went 21-0 that year, and we wound up
21-0 in 1 year?
Yeah, 21-0.
Wow, dude, that's solid.
And then I think we won every tournament in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, actually. in 1 year. I was expecting that one loss, that never came, and then shortly after that, I went pro. So.
And let's go on your still keeping on your amateur career. What has been like your most, out of all the belts you have, which one would you say is your most like sexiest one, the most prettiest one, the one you're most proud of having?
Most of the time it's the TVA belts. Those belts are, every year they change them, so they look cool. Everyone shows up for those tournaments, so usually if you were fighting Class A, which is semi-pro, like, you're getting your butt handed to you, whether you're fighting 3 times or 4 times or you're 5. I fought 5 times at one weekend one time, and I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to be black and blue after that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And tell me so far, how's your pro career going? What is your official pro record right now?
My pro is 5-1 and 5-1-1. Actually, just had a draw on this last fight, and it's actually on UFC Fight Pass. If any of you guys want to go keep that or whatever. It's been fun in the Muay Thai world. Like, it's the semi-pros and the pros. There obviously is a difference there, but they're still very high caliber, and you're still getting your face punched and freaking elbow everywhere. The only thing really different is they don't put that little elbow pad over your elbows for the most part.
And then tell me about, Glory Kickboxing was just in Houston recently. It was a great show. I just want to get your opinion on that, and like, what do you think about maybe ever fighting for an organization like Glory or maybe Bellator Kickboxing?
Yeah, I'm always down. I mean, I would prefer to do Muay Thai if I can, because I like to be able to go clinch and elbows. We actually chatted about fighting here in Houston, and we just kind of couldn't get the contract right for what would make me happy and make them happy, kind of. And we're definitely going to do some business in the future. But just at the time, it just kind of what didn't fit for us, and it didn't fit for them. So we're just kind of going to roll to the next one, and whenever they have it again, we're going to chat and maybe go from there. And
then for people who might not know, who would you say is like one of the top like Muay Thai like organizations here in America?
For America, it's obviously Friday Night Fights. They fight a lot. Obviously, Lion Fights. You're gonna have let's see who else. Triumphant has been putting on a lot of good shows, and they've been putting some really great shows together. There's a lot of good shows that are coming up as far as with the pros. And it's been, and that's the reason also too why I stayed semi-pro for so long, was because I didn't want to go pro and have one fight a year. Mm-hmm. I would like to be able to stay as active as I possibly can. Everyone always likes to make money, which that's why we have fun with it. But at the same time, we want to be able to go in and get as many fights and as much as I possibly can. I mean, as an American, I want to try to have 100 fights, but you got to fit well and find organizations to fight for when to do that,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, because a lot of those Thai guys, man, you'll see them come fight over here sometimes, like in like Glory, and they'll be fighting a guy who's like from America who has like maybe 20 fights, and the Thai guy will have like 100 fights. It's pretty crazy. You're like, what?
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And I haven't got into the ring with a guy up 100 fights, and I'm sure it's completely different, I've been in the ring with some high caliber dudes, some guys that have had, 50 fights or whatever, but, I would think, someone that's got like 100 fights or more would be, significantly different,
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then what are your, what is your goals for 2019 as a fighter?
Honestly, fight as much as possible, get as many big names under my belt as possible. I'd like to do some traveling, but this year I had a little boy, so he's like at the end of last year, and he's like 4.5 months old, just kind of trying to stay local for the most part if I can. Obviously, when I say local, I mean like in the States. Yeah. But I want to try to get some fights possibly in Thailand hopefully by the end of the year. And I like to stay active as much as I possibly can. That's my big thing. Is like we're not getting any younger. When I step back, I want to look at what I accomplished. Not what I could have accomplished.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's really respectable. Also, and then speaking of your kids, do you have your kids like watch you fight live or anything? Well, I guess not your newborn, but what about your daughter?
Yeah, so like my daughter, she's never actually even been to a fight, has seen me actually fight, like live, but she likes to watch my videos sometimes. Like I said, she's 5 years old. She really just started. She's been training since she was little, but she's just kind of starting now to really get interested in. She got her first pair of shin guards like actually a couple of months ago, so she's getting pretty stoked about training and stuff now. But she's never seen me actually fight live. She sees me spar, and she's at the gym with me all the time. So.
That's awesome. And then, one of the last quick questions, before I ask all my guests when we have a big UFC fight coming on, I usually ask them, I get their picks of the main event. And so hopefully you follow MMA. I'm not too sure if you do, but there's a big pay-per-view coming up where we have John Jones taking on Anthony Smith for John Jones' light heavyweight title. And I would just want to get your picks. Who you think is going to win that fight and why?
Probably John Jones. He's one of those, I don't want to say freak of nature, but he's a freak of nature. You got guys that are just like born studs, and he's one of them. I feel like he doesn't really allow himself to be in a show, so he's able to kind of throw anything he really wants. And that's personally where I like to hopefully see myself at too. But when guys are like that and they don't allow themselves to be a certain style, they're just very elusive. Kind of get what they can and make things happen. I respect that. So I would go with John Jones on that one.
Yeah, nice. I also agree. I think John Jones will probably get the finish sometime in like the third round, maybe even sooner. But yeah, I got Jones in that. And then also we had a fan question I put out with a little picture I put out. Put a fan question out. We had a fan question from Jeremy Little who asked, who is a fighter that you wish you could have always been able to fight with or train with?
What was the question again?
He wanted to know who's your favorite fighter that you would like to train with.
I'm not gonna lie. It's always good to get different experience from different people. It's kind of got to spar with a lot of guys, but obviously, Borkel or Sancho or some of those guys would be someone that would be really fun to kind of step in the ring and just kind of like play with. Actually, the one person that we had to step back in time, and the one that kind of got me started and really wanted to compete was Ramon Decker. So you go back in time and that could happen, that would be my number one.
And Ramon Decker was he was like a legit Muay Thai guy?
He was legit everything.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely go look him up. And then also, if you could look back on all your fights you had, amateur and pro, who was your hardest match, or what was your hardest match? Not even maybe opponent. Maybe you had a fight where you were actually really injured, but you still showed up and you still fought. Maybe that could have been your hardest match. But what was like your hardest match or fight you've ever had?
Oh man, that's kind of hard to say. It's funny you say that because most of the time I don't even really remember a lot of my wins. It's the losses that I remember. That I remember the most. I took a loss and I messed up my knee. I've had some problems with it for like the last couple of years, and I finally got it rehabbed where now it's like feeling 100%. But it kind of slowed me down some fights. Mainly there's been plenty of fights that I've went into that I was really injured. And then it kind of slowed me down. But there's not really any right kind of off the top of my head that are like, man, I wish I could just redo this one. But there's been plenty of times where I'm like, man, I really need to step back and reevaluate myself. If I'm that injured, I don't need to get in the ring, and I could either end my career or be taking a loss. But nothing really like off the top of my head. I've definitely been hit by some fools that I've been like, yeah, I'd rather not get hit by that guy again,
Yeah, definitely. And then, so before we end it out, tell everybody why they should tune in to UFC Fight Pass and FridayNightFights.com to watch you fight March 1st.
Well, if anyone knows me and knows kind of my style, I'm there to put on a show, and I'm always here to have a good time. When I go down, I'm going to stand back up. You have to rip my leg off to make me stop. I'm not one of those fighters that gives up. I'm always there just a bloodbath, war, whatever it is that goes down. I'm going to be in the middle of it. So I'm not there looking for a safe fight. I'm there looking for a fun fight. So.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I'm definitely going to be tuning in and cheering you on and watching you get this victory. And then before we end this out, do you have any sponsors or any training partners? Anybody you want to give any special shout outs to?
I mean, always my brother's been there from the beginning. Samuel Mongonia, Jeff Messina, as well as owners of our gym, and Jaime. Obviously, Mark Beecher. He's been a great coach and one of the owners of our company, our main business. And obviously, one of my coaches, Woody Uriel. And then for sponsors, Invite Cell has been with me from the get-go. Athlon Rev's been with me from the get-go. Easy Needs has been there from the get-go. And then who else? That's pretty much it for the most part. Friends and family, obviously my daughter, my son, my girl Jen. They've all, it takes a toll on my family, and they're allowing me to do and follow my dreams. So definitely, just a big thanks to all of them.
So everyone, make sure to check out the fight March 1st live on UFC Fight Pass or FridayNightFights.com, where you can see Sammy the Bull to get his next victory. If y'all enjoyed that video, please hit that like and subscribe button below. And special thank you to our sponsors,